What's the deal, my people? Welcome to my channel, Panama's OG Truth. I appreciate y'all joining me today. I have one today, and I'm gonna give you a fair warning. If you have any kids, if you're a sensitive person that doesn't like to hear harsh things, this is your time right now. Turn me off, go to another channel, do whatever you want to do. But, it might not be for you. Like I said, I'm here to bring you the truth. I'm here to bring you Panama's OG truth. This is not YouTube's view. This is nobody's view but mine's and mine's only. I'm speaking from my experience. I'm speaking from my life. I'm speaking from things that I've been through, that I've witnessed. And I'm here to, talk about it now. So, I don't mean to offend nobody. I don't mean to disrespect nobody. That's not my intention. Like I said, I'm bringing you this content. I'm bringing you this heat, shit that I've been through. So now that I done got that out the way, here we go. I got locked up at the early age of 17 years old. And when I got locked up, being a young man, you had different females, like, I can't speak for nobody else, but I know I had different females, on my team. I was running through any female that I put my eyes on, being young, having money, dressing fly, handsome, of course. I had a lot of females. So me getting incarcerated, all of a sudden, I go from, being used to, picking and choosing any female that I wanted to. All of a sudden, that's gone. That's done. I don't have that luxury no more. I can't get pussy the way I was getting pussy because I'm incarcerated now. Or you got some people who say, well, but wait a minute, Panama. I thought that there's motherfuckers in there, having sex with female guards. Yeah, it is true. It is true. This happens. But it's not as easy as picking up a phone and saying, hey, can you come on over here? I'm horny, I want to hook up, or meet me at the hotel. Nah, it ain't like that. It don't happen when you want to. It's what you call a crime of opportunity, as they say. You had the opportunity and you had to get it in real quick. Ain't no fucking relaxing and making love and all that. Nah, you don't have the luxury for that. And you got to worry about other convicts hating on you, telling it on you. Panama over there fucking with Miss Johnson. She won't give me none, so I'm fixing to give them up. And next thing you know, they're dropping, information slips, snitching slips, and they're telling it on you. Next thing you know, they come and, handcuff your ass, take you out your cell. They escort the female officer off the unit, off the prison. She loses her job, whatever. You don't want that shit, especially if you got a lot of time to do. Because once you get that jacket on your record that you solicited the officer, because that's how they write it down. Soliciting officer, in relationship with officer, that shit is documented. So now all of a sudden you go from being in the part of the prison where you have access to female guards, and they put you in the opposite end of the prison where you don't have access to female guards. All you see is fucking hardheads, men. So it's a little, it's a little discouraging you. If you want to do your time, you want to be around females too, Now, for the females that are locked up, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not a female, I've never been locked up in a female prison. But from my understanding is, if you're a man, you can't work in the cell blocks or in the dorms in a female prison. Because you already know what's going to happen. You already know what's going to happen. It's different with men. Men trying to fuck something. They're trying to get their dick sucked. Okay? I'm not saying that females ain't like that, but it's more common for men. You put a man in a female prison, it's like you putting a little kid in a candy store, in a toy store. Take a picking. Choose what you want, who you want. But you also have females in men's prison that have that same mentality. And it's more common to see females working in men's prison than it is to see men working in females' prison. The majority of times when you see a man working in a female prison, he's outside opening the gates, he's in the tower watching shit, but he's not gonna be actually in the cell block or in the dorms, you know, interacting with females on a daily basis. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen, it does happen, but it's not as common as females in the men's prison. So you had this one female officer, and we're gonna call her Ms. Armstrong. That's not her real name. I don't care to use her real name. Like I said, I'm not here to expose nobody. I'm not here to, you know, put nobody in a fucked up spot. I'm here to tell you what I know, what I witnessed. Okay, so get ready for this one. This lady was probably about 65 years old, or might have been older. I don't know. But she was an older lady, grandma material, okay? And she was a fucking police. When I say she was a police, any little thing that was not in compliance with the rule book, she was writing you a case. She was writing you up like that, no questions asked. She was so bad that when she would come on the cell block, she would come on the cell block like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. She was the morning shift. As soon as she would step in the cell block, all it took is one person, one convict in the cell block to see her. And they would start yelling out their cell door, "Ms. Armstrong on the block, Ms. Armstrong on the block." In other words, hey man, this bitch is on the block. You know what kind of police she is. So if you got any type of contraband, if you're doing something you ain't got no business doing in your cell, you better get ready, hide that shit. If you in there smoking weed, you better start throwing baby powder in the air. You better do whatever you gotta do. You better start wiping the cell doors down with bleach to get rid of the smell. Whatever you're doing, you better take care of your business, because this lady, she's a fucking super cop. She goes from cell to cell. As soon as she hits the cell block, and she's sticking her nose in the cell door, trying to smell if she smells any marijuana, any alcohol. If she does, she's telling the CO and the picket, roll the cell door. She goes in there, strip your ass butt naked, step out the cell door, and she tears your cell up. And if you have any contraband, anything you ain't got no business having in there, guess what? She's gonna find it. You can't even have a poster on the wall. Let's say you have a poster of, you know, some little shorty wearing a badass bikini or whatever on the wall. You know, like I said, you doing time, you a man. You wanna look at females. You look at motherfucker all day long looking at men, you wanna look at females. She sees that on the wall, she's telling you one time, take it down. And give it to her. Give it to her, because it's contraband. And 9 times out of 10, she's gonna write you a case for contraband. You can't have extra clothes, extra socks, extra underwear. Those are things that are in the rule book. And she's gonna enforce that rule book, plus, she's gonna take it to the maximum. She's gonna make your life miserable every time she's on a cell block. Believe me, I used to wish death on that bitch, because she was there to make our life miserable. She would say it out loud. I'm here to make y'all life miserable. You guys are convicted felons. You don't have no rights. That's what she would say to us. And you hear everybody, shut up, bitch. Fuck out of here, bitch. Everybody yelling at her, you know, cussing her out or whatever. And she would love that shit. You would see it in her face. She would eat that shit up. She got off on that shit. But the only thing that Ms. Armstrong didn't police, and this is fucking crazy, she would let motherfuckers jack off on her. I know y'all asking, well, what do you mean, Panama? She would let motherfuckers masturbate on her. Now, let me explain something to y'all. If you a female CO and you working at a man's prison and you don't want men looking at your body, because they're gonna look at your body from top to bottom, they're gonna check you out. You in there with men. The fuck you expect? If you don't want men looking at you, you're not wearing your uniform super tight, like it's another layer of skin. You're not doing that. And if you are, you're wearing a smock, or as we call them, kill shields. You saying, well, what the hell is a kill shield, Panama? It's like a vest, like a long vest, comes all the way down to their knees. And it covers their front and it covers their behind. So you can't take a good look at her ass. You don't know, how shapely her ass might be. You can't look at her pussy print. You can't see if she got big pussy lips or nothing. Things that you will be able to see when a woman is wearing tight pants. You can't see that. That's done. She's taking that away. She's not giving you that option. But then you have the ones that want you to look at them. The ones that wear their shit super tight. The ones that when they're talking to you, they're sticking their hands in their pockets and they're jacking them up, their pants more so you can see that print better. Yeah. You got to allow them to get down like that. So, in other words, what I'm saying is they're seeking attention. They're not getting that attention out here. They're not getting that attention from their husbands, their boyfriends, whatever. And all of a sudden they step in there to do their job and they know these men are looking at them, checking them out, whistling at them. They're making comments, damn, boss lady, you looking good today, They're shooting their shot. So that shit goes to a woman's head. They get big-headed. So back to Ms. Armstrong. Old as fuck, like I said. Just imagine a lady, white lady with real curly, frizzy hair. She had like a little curly afro, glasses, tight-ass pants. She's a little on the, how could I say, on the little chunky side. But she got them pants on tight every day, day in, day out. So, like I said, she's a super cop. She enforces the rule book to the T. No buts and ifs about it. Ain't no plea bargaining with her. She catches you in the wrong, she's crucifying your ass, okay? Let's get that understood. So, you got people in there that, like I said, they've been locked up already for a long time. They haven't had a woman in a long time. They don't even know what a woman smells like. So here it is. You got female officers, enticing them, tight-ass clothes, bending over in front of them, all kind of shit. So you got something that they don't play that, though. Like I said, you pull out your dick and you start jacking off on them, they're going to make an example out your ass. And one thing you don't want a masturbation case on your record. You got some cats in there, they don't give a fuck. They ain't never going home. They don't give a damn. They got 30, 40 masturbation cases and gonna continue getting them. But if you have a chance to go home, you don't want that shit on your record. If you have a chance to look at parole, for the parole board to give you a chance, the parole board grabs your file and reads, and you have masturbation cases, left and right, it don't look good. It makes you look like you some kind of sicko. How the fuck they want you, a sicko, out in society? You're the ones that make society what it is right now. Bunch of fucking sickos. So you don't want that. That's how they look at it. That's how they think. And it's the truth. So Ms. Armstrong, the only thing that she didn't police was motherfuckers jacking off on her. And me personally, I'm not gonna tell you that I didn't do it in the past, but not by looking at her. I mean, cause I didn't find nothing attractive about her. The female COs that I would jack off on, they were attractive. Okay, let's get that understood. And they would give me the green light. In other words, they would post up in front of my cell, give me, views. In other words, they knew what I was doing. It's part of life, prison life. You never think about that shit when you out here. But when you get in there and you do a lot of time, me personally, I was locked up 12 years. I went in when I was 17, got out when I was 29. That's a long time. And me going in when I was a youngster, like I said, I was running through females left and right. Later on down the line, I fucked a couple of COs. We're not going to talk about that right now, but I was having it like that. But Ms. Armstrong, she would get in the Cellblock and let's say it be count time, where she got to go from cell to cell, make sure that whoever's in that cell is accounted for, okay? When she would call count time, it would be a migration from inmates in the day room up to their cells. Why? Because they wanted to jack off, and when she would walk by and look in their cell, they're gunning her down. They're going off, you know? And this lady, she was so fucking bold. She'll pull out her flashlight and flash that motherfucker in there to get a better look. And I know it is because I would hear people in other cells say, man, Miss Armstrong, she out of control. She looking. She watched me, you know, bust a nut and everything. She don't give a damn. She straight up monster. She would police everything but that dick. That dick it mesmerized Ms. Armstrong. She couldn't say anything about that. Never wrote a masturbation case up. Wrote every other case up, but not one of those. So, you know, it's kind of fucked up because, you know, it's not common for people to be doing that. It's not. You do that shit out here and people look at you like a sicko. But in prison, this is part of everyday life. And you have people like Ms. Armstrong that they love that attention. This lady was such a fucking super cop that, no bullshit, this is true story. She had like a farm. Because most prisons, they're in the country. They're in the country. They send you away miles and miles, hours and hours away from where you from, okay? So she had a farm and she had livestock. And they say that she was letting her goats and chickens and shit out of the gate, and a burst of wind, you know, slammed the gate and then broke her leg. Well, you would think that this lady, and keep this in mind, she had been working for the Department of Corrections for over 25 years. She was a veteran. You know, the gate slammed on her leg, broke her leg. This lady still came to work with a fucking cast all the way past her knee, like all the way to her thigh. And you will see this woman trying to go up the stairs, dragging her leg, her broken leg. She could barely walk. But she would do her count time with her flashlight, looking for that thing. She didn't miss that. And that's the thing that I tell people, you know, you don't know what you're getting yourself in when you go to prison. And a lot of these youngsters, they don't have a clue of the shit that goes on in prison. They don't. Like I said, if you're used to having your way, if you're used to having females, if you're used to getting pussy on a regular basis, like I was, and then you get locked up, you don't have that luxury no more. You don't have that, hey man, let me call, oh girl, you know, let me hook up with her. Nah, that's over with. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. I'm just bringing this, you know, to y'all youngsters that are here, you know, like I said, don't want to listen to nobody. If I knew what I know now, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't have done to put myself in a position of ending up in prison. Like I said, from the age of 17 till I was 29, all my 20s incarcerated. That's a lot of time that I lost that I should have been out here enjoying life, having fun. But instead, I was in prison. Now, the whole jacking off thing, you know, that's you got to be real careful with that. Like, for example, if you're a real man, if you're a real G, and motherfuckers know what I'm talking about, and you have a cellmate, ain't no cellmate, ain't no other man is going to be jacking off in that cell while I'm in there. It ain't happening. And I would tell my cellmates, do not jack off while I'm in this cell. You wait for me to step out, for me to go to the kitchen, because we had jobs, for me to go to the church, go meet up with my homeboys. I go to the rake yard. But I better not catch you pulling your dick out in this cell while I'm in here. Or if I'm asleep, don't think you're gonna do it, because if I wake up and I see you doing it, it's on and popping right there and then. I don't play that shit. I show you the same respect, but you're gonna respect me. I'm not jacking off while you in there, and you're not jacking off when I'm in there. And I remember one time when I was in medium custody, you locked up, let's say about 18 hours out of the 24 hours you're locked up in your cell. And I had a cellmate. He only had been locked up about 2 years. I already had been locked up about 8. And I gave him the rules. I told him from the get, hey man, I don't do none of that shit, man. I keep myself clean. I don't do no jacking off while my cellmate's in here. I respect, but you also gonna respect me. Well, one day I was asleep. I slept in the bottom bunk. He was on the top bunk. You know how you feel, like something ain't right. Everything's real quiet, like extra quiet. Prison is a loud environment. Motherfuckers constantly yelling, beating on the tables, beating on the walls. But for whatever reason, I turned around and I see my cellmate standing in front of the cell door and he's jacking off on a female officer. So I don't say nothing. I get up, I unplug my hot pot, about this big, solid plastic and metal bottom, and I walk up from behind him, bah! I bust him upside the head. And I didn't stop there. I ended up breaking that coffee pot in pieces on his head. Because I told him, don't disrespect me like that. I don't do that shit. His homeboys told him, hey man, your cellmate Panama, he don't play that shit. So he knew. I guess he didn't take it for real. But he learned from that. But anyway, it happens in prison, okay? It does. It's an everyday thing, man. So your main thing is you don't want to put yourself in that position. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Learn from what I'm telling you. These are things that people don't like talking about. They're embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed of nothing. Like I said, I went in there, I did my time. It made me a better person. I came out, certified G. And when I say certified G, I'm talking about in life or anything that I do. Anything that I do, I'm certified. I put my brain, my heart, everything. You can't tell me nothing about life, period. So once again, y'all, I appreciate y'all, staying here with me, hearing me, what I got to say. Like I said, I'm not giving you opinions. I'm not giving you a like or a dislike. I don't care about none of that. There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of fakes out here. People that are, saying certain things. They never lived it. They never done it. Never will do it. The same way I'm not gonna go speak on an engineer's job. If you ain't been through what I've been through, if you ain't done what I've done, seen what I've seen, you can't speak on it. You can't tell me anything about this. Okay? Please subscribe to my channel. Like I told you, I have a vault up here, and there's so much content, so many things that I want to talk about. That as soon as I get time, I'm going to bring it to you. I promise you that. Just bear with me. If you have any requests of certain things that you want to ask or you want me to hit, you want me to talk about, man, please do. Send me a little message, whatever. Hit me up however you want to hit me up. And just say, Panama, man, what's the deal with this right here? Say, Panama, I heard this right here. I'll address it. There's nothing off topic. Like I said, you ain't gonna hurt my feelings. I'm certified. Believe me when I tell you, been there, done that. When I'm out here doing this, I'm kicking the facts. I bring you the truth, Panama's OG truth. Y'all come check me out, man. Like I said, please subscribe to my channel. That's the only way I could bring you my views, my insight, my life. That's the only way. Hit the like button. Let's make this happen. I'm gonna show you love, trust me. I promise you that. Y'all have a good one. God bless. Hope to see y'all soon.